At the Sports History Network, we're proud to introduce you to a new sponsor for our podcasts. It's Home Field Apparel, your premium collegiate apparel brand right out of Indianapolis. They've got incredibly comfortable t-shirts, plus they're officially licensed with vintage college designs. They have over 150 plus colleges available now and always adding more. Homefield digs through the archives and history of your school to find unique logos, mascots, and moments to make thoughtful designs for your school. When you shop today, new customers can get a 15% discount off their first purchase using the promo code SPORTSHISTORY at checkout. You can learn more at homefieldapparel.com.
Big plays at the end of big games are always an exciting event. But here's what happened in sports history on September 21st, back a few decades ago, that made a Canadian crowd go wild as their quarterback heard the roar of the crowd. Welcome to another Sports Jersey Dispatch, Roars of the Crowd. Those moments when we stood up and cheer as fans. One of us sports fans' favorite sounds when a participant in an athletic event does something spectacular and impacts history, the game, or both, and makes an instant memory. We try and capture these on a daily basis to preserve sports history, saving those sports memories one day at a time. Hello, my friends of sports history. This is Darren Hayes of the Pigskin Dispatch and Jersey Dispatch podcast to talk about a great day in sports where when the crowd was roaring with cheers, and it's happened on September 21st. But before we get to the story, let's talk about how you can join in and know every time something new happens in the pig pen. We have Pigskin Dispatch, we have Sports Jersey Dispatch, and we have OrvilleMulligan.com. Anytime anything drops, we will tell you all about it in our newsletter that happens each and every day, along with all of our posts on both websites, and the best from the SportsHistoryNetwork.com and what's going on over there as well, with 30 great podcasters bringing you their best. So we have all of that covered, and we'll tell you right where they all are, with links to get to them by signing up for our email. And very easily in the show notes of this very podcast, click on the email subscription, and tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m., just like every day, you'll have that email with colored pictures every day sitting right there in your email inbox, 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, let's get to that big play on September 21st, and let's flash back to 1997 in the Canadian Football League. The Calgary Stampeders entered the week of play on the outside looking into the playoff race for the CFL, sporting just a ho-hum 6-6 record. Their game played on September 21st against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Well, all the other Western CFL teams had lost, so this was an important step for the Stamps to take if they wanted a shot at the postseason. With 3:28 left to play, things were looking a little bit grim for Calgary, though. The Ticats had just intercepted Calgary quarterback Jeff Garcia for the third time on the day and were looking to finish off the Stampeders with that pick. Well, Hamilton signal caller Anthony Calvillo took the ball into the end zone and put the Ticats up late in the game. But that's when Garcia got the ball back, brushed off his earlier errors, and took control of the game. Calgary moved the ball, sparked by a 33-yard grab by a leaping Alan Pitts over defender, and it put the Stamps in business deep in Hamilton territory. Stampeders used the clock wisely and worked their way all the way down to the 1-yard line, when finally Jeff Garcia powered across on a quarterback sneak with 28 ticks of the clock remaining to give the Stampeders a 25-21 victory. And the crowd went wild because that might have just saved their season, because that win propelled the Stampeders into the playoffs with a 10-8 record. Well, but unfortunately, in round one of the playoffs of the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders knocked them out by the score of 33-30. Such a close one. The Roughriders, in turn, would win another game after that in the playoffs and win the West and earn the right to face the Toronto Argonauts in the Grey Cup game. But the Boatmen would prove to be just a little bit too much and win the CFL crown, the Grey Cup, in sporting fashion, and the crowd went wild there as well. But September 21st game, where Jeff Garcia, who ended up playing in the NFL with multiple teams, including the 49ers and the Browns, he helped to take Calgary into that playoffs when things were looking a little bit dark and dreary for that team. So there is your great roar of the crowd. Hope you enjoy this series. We'd love to hear from you. Get your feedback, pigskindispatch@gmail.com. And until tomorrow, everybody, have a great sports history day. This penalty kill is almost over. I got to get back out on the ice. But thanks again for joining us for another great edition of Sports Jersey Dispatch Podcast. We'll see you tomorrow. We invite you to check out our websites, jerseydispatch.com and pigskindispatch.com. Not only see the daily sports history, but to experience the preservation of great events and people that play the games. Find us on Pigskin Dispatch. It's also on social media outlets of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget the Pigskin Dispatch YouTube channel. You get all your daily sports history. Pigskin Dispatch is happy to be associated with the Sports History Network, the sports headquarters of yesteryear, found at sportshistorynetwork.com.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
It was just another ordinary day in the offices of the Pittsburgh Guardian newspaper circa 1924. But for Marla Delft, assistant editor, everything was about to change. For she was about to discover the awesome attractiveness of Row 1 brand retro sports paraphernalia items thanks to Orville Mulligan, sports writer.
And there it is.
Wow, Orville, that's really the bee's knees.
Isn't it just? A poster-sized replica of the actual 1909 World Series program cover.
I can see that. But where did you get it? And where'd you get it framed?
I ordered it from the Row 1 website, where over 6,000 items of sports memorabilia from the 1880s to the 1990s are available for reproduction, in multiple sizes and in several different materials, with over a dozen styles of frame to choose from for prints like this.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Delft would love to put up more of these in the office. But I'm equally as sure they're beyond this newspaper's budget.
Not at all, my dear Marla. See for yourself. Go to sportshistorynetwork.com/row1.
sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. Oh my, these are good prices. Oh, and look at this stuff. Oklahoma-Nebraska football, college basketball art, Michael Jordan items.
And so
retro
it was that
sports
Marla Delft
advertisement
discovered the
placards.
splendiferous magic of Row 1 sports memorabilia, arts, and prints. You can too by visiting sportshistorynetwork.com/row1. That's ROW1 today for access to the full Row 1 catalog of gallery prints and gifts like t-shirts, long-sleeve shirts, telephone cases, coffee mugs, blankets, pillows, towels, and even shower curtains. Act today for 15% discount off all prints with coupon code SHN15 and 20% off all other items with coupon code SHN20 at checkout. And keep your dial locked to the Sports History Network for the exciting chronicles of the 1920 sports world in Orville Mulligan, sports writer. Coming soon.